A Prophet of Thought series, exclusive.
The Prophet of Thought series.
Open your mind.
The Prophet of Thought series.
All right, welcome back to the Prophet of Thought series, also known as the Frontistery. I'm up here tonight with my co-host, Lady Selfmade, and my New York City chief correspondent, Teacher Tanisha. And tonight, y'all, we're gonna be talking about black and white, white and black. The title of the show is Black and White, Dating, Mating, and Procreating. It's going to be a touchy subject tonight, and I got a special guest calling in around 9:30, Mr. Cory Haywood. Those of you who don't know who Cory Haywood is, he's a writer, he's an author, and he's probably most notably known for his article in the Black Hat titled, "Hey Sisters, Feel Free to Pursue White Men." So hang on for that, and we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna get started. Open your minds. Feel free to call in. Let me give y'all the phone number. It's 712-770-4010. That's 712-770-4010. Access code 889-212. Call in if you wish to opine. If you have problems, just hang with us. People have been experiencing some technical difficulties, calling in. So just kind of hanging there with us, and we'll figure it out if there's a problem. All right, Teacher Tanisha, Lady Selfmade, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up? How are you?
I'm good. We're talking about black and white dating. There's a lot of interracial dating going on, but tonight we're talking about black and white. And it's a touchy subject for a lot of people. I seen that today when I posted it on Facebook, and I had Princess Sharon. Boy, the vitriol that was coming back. Woo. The vitriol that was coming back was just crazy. It's a touchy subject. I don't know exactly why people date interracially, but I know a lot of people are doing it. But people will be amazed. They will be amazed at the dynamics of interracial dating.
Right.
You would think that people think that interracial dating is similar amongst the races, but really it's not. I'm gonna read a study from the Census, the 2010 Census. Okay. And we're gonna talk about marriages first. We'll get into the dating stuff later. But married couples in the United States, according to the United States Census, it says in a household with a white husband, 50 million have a white wife. 168,000 have a black wife. 529,000 have an Asian wife, and 487,000 have, either Hispanic or, a Middle Eastern wife. Now, in a married household with a black husband, 390,000 have a white wife. 4 million have a black wife. 39,000 have an Asian wife, and 66,000 have either a Hispanic wife or a Middle Eastern wife. Asians, they say who have a white wife, 219,000. 9,000 have a black wife. 2.8 million have an Asian wife, and 28,000 have either a Hispanic or, Indonesian wife. Now, Hispanics is pretty much the same. 488,000 have a white wife. They say 18,000 have a black wife. 37,000 have a Asian wife, and 4.5 million have a Hispanic wife. So,
pardon everyone, I got cut off.
That's okay. So it's actually really disproportionate. Basically, the people who date outside their race, the people who marry, or should I say the men who marry outside their race and have something other than their own ethnic group as wives are black men. Okay? Because white men, 50 million white men, according to the United States Census in 2010, they had a white wife. Only 168,000 of them had a black wife. Now, with black men, there's a lot less of us married, of course. There's 4 million of us who have a black wife, but 390,000 black men have a white wife. So it's actually it's really disproportionate. This is according to the census. This isn't me talking. I'm looking at the census real statistics right now. Now, this is the thing. You hear people talk about interracial dating all the time. It's all over Facebook, YouTube, every damn way. And you hear a lot of black women say that white women are taking black men, and you also hear a lot of white men saying that black men are taking their women. You hear that a lot. But they're really wrong, because the numbers don't really bear that out compared to the population that's in this country. Those numbers don't bear out. Like I was about to say before, I don't know why people actually marry or date outside of their race. There's probably a whole host of reasons why people do it. I wouldn't want to try to assume. When I was younger, I dated women from other races, and I didn't have any particular reason why I was doing it. I was dating them because they were girls. That's why I was dating them. It wasn't because of their color or anything like that. Like I was telling Lady Self-Made earlier, as I got older, as you get older, you get more conscious and you learn more things, you learn more stuff about yourself and history and things of that nature. And then you start to kind of evolve in your thinking. I'm looking up on the board, I believe Mr. Haywood has called. Mr. Haywood, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Mr. Haywood. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Let me introduce you to my panel here, my co-workers, the other members of my team. I'm on the line. I got my co-host from the Procreating Series radio show, Lady Self-Made, and I also have.
How are you?
Hi. How are you?
And I also have my New York City chief correspondent out in New York, Teacher Tanisha.
Hey, peace, Brother Haywood. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great.
Now, the reason why I wanted you to call in, Mr. Haywood, you know what I'm going to talk about. I have to talk about this article, man, that's in the Black Hat. You caught a lot of hell behind this article. This one and the one you wrote. Previous. Hey, sisters, are white women stealing from your playbook? I believe you caught a lot of hell, man. Caught a lot of hell.
Yes, I did.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that was?
I think, generally when a member of the black community is criticized, somehow it reflects the general population in that community. And so in my case, I described the women that I've encountered over the years, and I suppose that my readers interpret that as an indictment on black women in general. Now, of course, I know there are differences. There are black women who I have been, very close to and enjoyed, and then there are black women who I've had, experiences with that weren't too pleasant. So when they read this story, I think my readers interpreted it as me saying that black women were somehow inferior to white women and that white women were stealing aspects of, the black community or of the black experience and using them to gain some type of advantage when it comes to acquiring black men. And that isn't entirely true. That's what I think all the backlash is coming from.
Okay. Well, I really think you skewered them, boy. Let me just read. I just need to read some of this stuff, man, because I thought you really came back on them. You wrote, let me see, let me get it here. You wrote, let me first address the scathing, ratchet comments many of you thought tasteful to leave. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but white men will never, ever have you. Asians won't eat you, nor will Hispanics, Native Americans, Middle Easterners, or any self-respecting adult male who comes to know you. That's right, sisters. Aside from cultural restraint, your rancid demeanor is critical and why they'll never bring you home to mama or acquaint you with close friends and co-workers. And don't even dream about walking down the aisle. That crusty, dusty, rusty little finger of yours ain't worth it to them.
Really?
That's heavy.
Really?
No, wait.
That's heavy.
Yeah, well, you know what? Well, I don't think that is heavy. I think he, Barton. Wait, Lady Selfman, you want to say something before I say anything?
No, you go ahead.
I heard you really. Okay.
Or no. You crazy.
Wait. I know I'm about to. Wait, hold on.
But hold it. Before y'all jump on the brother, he was writing that.
I'm jumping on him. I'm agreeing. I'm not jumping on him. I just want to ask him a question.
Let me put it in context first. He wrote that in response to him being attacked for another article he had wrote. Because they attacked him.
Right, about they don't need to be looking forward to white men marrying them. They don't want them. Right, go ahead.
He wrote.
I read it. Answer the videos. Go ahead.
He had wrote an article called "Hey Sisters, Are White Women Stealing from Your Playbook?" And when he wrote that article, the sisters attacked the hell out of him. So he had to attack back. Now go.
Okay, well, I just for the listeners, I want you to, if you can, or you or Mr. Haywood, either or, to kind of elaborate more on the article about white women taking the black men from the black women, just so that people can, because you took one part and it kind of sounds really, really nasty, and as to the response from the article that Mr. Haywood did. Now, he got a lot of backlash, a lot of negative comments from black women. And I think it was from the black women who took offense as far as them looking at the article as an attack on black women, like, oh, nobody wants you, And I Mr. Haywood is here, he can speak for himself. I don't think that he was coming from that point of view as much as y'all sitting out here running after these white men. And these white women are taking your black men, and you're running after somebody that don't want you. Okay, they're not taking you home to their mother. They're not introducing you to their friends. They're not going to marry you, probably unless your bank account can kind of sort of match theirs, or it's something in it for them. I don't know how much of the marriages, as far as interracial marriages are concerned, or dating even, is attributed to actual love. You understand? Usually there's a gaining, something to gain. Not white women. Black women seem to look at other races of men as a goal. You understand? As something to be attained. Yes, that is a goal for them. A white man, child, so they can get that purse or have that pretty baby, especially if they're self-hating. And to me, the article was more for self-hating black women. Now, Brother Haywood, you can take that, or sister, lady, self-made, whoever wants to go, piggyback off of that. But that was my take on it. I can be wrong, but he can speak for himself.
No, I concur. That is exactly who I was referring to. I wasn't lumping black women in one category. Although, like I said, there are several black women of all kinds that I've run into over the course of my life. And so, yes, I was referring to those who aren't particularly pleasant to be around. And I would say that it probably comprises at least 50% of the black female population in this country. I'm just going to be honest with you. There are others, again, who are completely different. But you can ask black men, not just myself, but ask others, and they will tell you that at some point or another in their lives, whether they caught heat from women in their family or from women outside of their family, this is a common complaint among black men, and I think it needs to be addressed and resolved, period.
Lady self-made.
And the complaint okay.
Well, the complaint, and again, I'll elaborate. The complaint is when a woman says that, I'm strong and I need a strong man to handle someone like me. Well, black women, you handle chemicals. You handle lions and bears and beasts. You're not supposed to handle a woman. A woman should be cared for. Cared for and treated like a valuable, a valuable treasure, not some type of volatile object, you see? And so when women say, I need a strong man to handle someone like me, well, how am I supposed to interpret that? How am I supposed to love and care for you when all that I'm receiving in exchange is aggression, is sass-mouthing, is rude and mean? No man wants that. No man's going to tolerate it. And so what often happens is black men will go to white men, spineless, passive white men, and walk all over them because they will do whatever you want them to do with a fucking smile. Black men will not do that. So you have a strong black man and a strong black woman trying to coexist, and quite often it doesn't work, and it results in divorce. It results in all kind of crap. And so that's pretty much what I was trying to explain in my article.
Lady Self-Made, you want to take that or say anything? Or Brother X, okay.
I can, I am going to say something. I am going to say something because I'm married and I'm a dominant female and my husband is dominant too. And sometimes we clash, but you know what? It's been 16 years of long marriage and it's been great. So you can't really say that. If domination scares you, then you have that problem. It is a lot of females out there that are very dominant. It is, and they may come across a little strong, but it's all on how you handle it. If you don't have the balls to handle it, then what y'all do, y'all run and y'all go find white women.
Not just in the fortitude to be questioned, but I don't know that dominance is a characteristic or a trait that women should actually have. Of course, you have a man and a woman in a relationship. You can't have two dominant people in a relationship. How can it thrive? How can it be healthy if no one is willing to see it?
It happens.
But let's wait. Where did that come from, though? We have to think about the mindset of the black man and the black woman in society now, today, at this present time, due to things from the past and past situations of what we went through as a people, which affected the black home and the relationship between the black man and the black woman. Now, what I mean between that is, okay, so we have all of this systematical racism towards us. So it makes certain things difficult for black men because the man is supposed to be the provider and the protector. So the man is trying to go out to be the provider and the protector, and he's encountering all of these obstacles, right? So then he becomes an entrepreneur of certain other activities to make his money. And not saying all black men do that. I'm just saying it could be any type of hustle. You could set up a table and be selling oils and incense, whatever it is, okay? So he's having difficulty playing his role. Now, some of the brothers, unfortunately, might wind up dead. Some of the brothers might wind up incarcerated or in a certain type of situation where they cannot be in the home to play their role. So that, unfortunately, leaves black women to become even stronger than what we are. See, our strength is not only for us, our strength is for y'all, because the black man has to go out in the world and encounter certain things that are not nice. And then y'all have to come back home to us, and we're, supposed to, welcome you in, and it's kind of a release from the things that you went through outside. When that man is not there to hold his position as provider and protector, that leaves the woman in that role. And especially if these women have children, you have to play the role of mother and father, which is not normal. That is not a normal, how do you say, a normal, come on, y'all, help me with a word, a normal
situation.
A normal, a normal situation or a normal environment, right, for the woman to be in. And it affects the children as well, but I'm not going to go into the children at this moment because we're dealing with the relationship between the man and the woman. So being now that she has to take the role of being both man and woman, which is not normal, she starts to change, and she starts to have characteristics based off of masculinity. Why? Because she has to go out there and do things that a man does. So unfortunately, the younger generation seeing this, they grow up with that very strong and sturdy characteristic as women. And not saying that that is a bad thing, but at times looking at that, seeing your mother go through that, you'll get a thought process of starting to move like that. You're not realizing that your mother is moving in this way because she has no choice. You understand? She was made to be in that role, to do that. So you grow up, and you are a strong black woman, and you have this type of, and I think all black women are strong. Let me just put that out. I think that the mindset that the next generation of females grows up with is, oh, I have to be strong, I have to be, and that is their strength. Their strength in their mind, they don't know that they're acting as a man and a woman. See, when women act tough, we're mimicking what men taught us. I'm mimicking my brothers, I'm mimicking my uncles, I'm mimicking whoever I'm dealing with. You understand? But we don't realize that toughness that y'all have is for the outside world. When y'all come to us, it's supposed to be all love and sugar and loveliness between the both of us because we're y'all released. But some black women don't know that. They don't realize that because they don't know that this is something systematical that made these type of actions and problematic situations between black men and women, which makes us go out.
I'm going to respond. I'm going to respond. It's a two-parter, actually. Let's talk about first when you say men, black men are supposed to be providers and protectors, right? So I think black women need to lower their standards and their expectations of black men and also look in the mirror. You can't expect to attract a black man who's making six figures, who's well-educated, when you're slinging chicken wings and Hooters. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Right. You have to be equally yoked to your partner. There are a lot of women out here who expect the world from men but bring nothing to the table, absolutely nothing but a piece of ass. And quite honestly, I'm going to be frank here, you can get ass from just about anyone, no matter what color they are. Okay?
That's right.
So black men need to get a grasp on that. Second of all, if I can go further into it, when you say that the women are often left having to raise children on their own, I'm not blaming you for that because there are a lot of trifling black men out here who are taking care of their business.
No. And I wasn't. Wait, brother. Not to interrupt you. I wasn't saying that we were left without men because of triflingness. I meant because of society due to killings, murderings, or incarceration. I was not saying anything, about the black man in that way.
And so the world is a scary place for all black people, men and women. But also black women have to be more conscious and smarter, more judicious when they choose their partners. If you know the man you with isn't a follower of the law, if you know that he indulges in nefarious activities and that he probably won't be the best father to your children, why are you with him? Why are you procreating with him? And then you're surprised when he walks away after you pop out 3 or 4 of his children. I'm sorry. That is a cycle that we need to break, and it's unfortunately perpetual.
Right.
Black women need to be smarter about who they choose, and unfortunately many of you simply are not. I have to point that out.
Right.
Well, that was interesting. This is the thing. Now, we have a tendency as a people, you know, and I'm a black man speaking as a black man. We have a tendency to, I know me, when I was young, because I'm married now, I have a wife. I actually have a woman that's willing to put up with me. But before this time in my life, because I have children with another woman, okay? And her and I, we were supposed to be married and all that stuff, but you know what kept me from marrying her? That same so-called strong whatever thing that a lot of black women say they had. I think black women have a tendency, and as you can see, Brother Haywood, I have black women that work with me, okay? These 2 women that's talking right now, they work with me on my show. They just happen to be very smart. They happen to be very smart black women. They have their stuff together, because if they didn't, they wouldn't be part of my damn network. But anyway, the woman I was with, and I have children by, and she's the only woman I have children by, because I was going to marry her and all that kind of stuff. But you know, that so-called strong thing, because a lot of times black people get belligerent, confused with being strong, argumentative, confused with being strong, combative, confused with being strong. Being combative, argumentative, and belligerent isn't being strong. It's being combative, argumentative, and belligerent. And that's what kept me, you know, along with a host of other things, some things that might have been my fault too, but those were some of the key things that kept me from marrying her. And it also kept me from, it didn't make me want to go to a white woman, but it made me so I didn't want to be with another woman like that, okay?
Right.
I mean, I made sure I went and found somebody that was the exact opposite. I mean, the total opposite, as far down the spectrum as possible. And trust me, I fished around and looked around for a while. And I didn't just jump right in. But see, a lot of brothers, they get burnt, okay, by black women, you know. And the first thing they do is they will go to a white woman or a Spanish woman or an Asian woman. And me being a black man who has dated women from other races when I was a younger guy, I can tell you from my experience that these other women, they are different. They treat you different. I mean, it's just a different dynamic. I don't know if they treat you different because you're black. I don't know. But they do treat you different. And I'm sure if you looked around enough, you could probably find a white woman, Asian woman, a Spanish woman that would treat you like crap too. But from my experience, when you go to a white woman or a Spanish woman or an Asian woman, you know, you date a woman who's culturally different, you have different results. That's just kind of my examination of it. And it's been, and because I have dudes that I know, they date outside their race, and they pretty much say the same thing. A lot of them have been burnt by black women in the past. And then I have brothers who wish to build a family. You know, they want to build their legacy and they want to build something. And the reason why they don't date white women, black women, the reason why they don't seek out black women, because they want a woman who doesn't have any kids. They want a woman who, you know, maybe has a career or been to college, or, you know, they want a woman who's, you know, just has a different idea where they can build their own legacy. And that's usually pretty hard to find inside, you know, the black dynamic, because, you know, most women that are black between the ages of 20 and 30 have at least 2 children. You know, you have all these kind of dynamics going on. And I know that brothers usually choose other women from other races because they're less likely to run into those problems. They're less likely to run into women that have children. They're less likely to run into women that have baggage. They're less likely to run into women that are overweight. They're less, all these things that kind of plague us as black people. And I know I'm going to catch a lot of help in this from my listeners, but a lot of the things that kind of plague us as black people, you just don't seem to run into it as much with other races. Would you agree, Mr. Haywood?
I would definitely agree. And once again, I'm going to preface what I say with this, that there are plenty of good black women available. You're just going to have to sift through a lot of garbage first, but they are available, and they're waiting and willing. However, I think they are far outnumbered by those who aren't. I'm a personal trainer. Okay, I go to the gym. I'm there from 5 in the morning to about 5 in the evening. And I see a disproportionate number of Hispanic women, surprisingly, of course, white women, and now even Asian American women. Who I do not see are black women. When they do come there, they're strolling on the treadmill like they're having a casual walk on the beach. They're not working out with any intensity because they don't care. And then they have the nerve to walk outside of the gym wearing yoga pants and other tight-ass clothing with fat hanging here, fat hanging there, and everywhere. It's like that's a no-no. If you intend to attract a man, not just a black man, you're going to have to keep yourself tight. And it's not just about the aesthetics. It's about your health. Why would I have children with you if 20 years from that point you die of heart disease, diabetes, high cholesterol, whatever there is? Why would I put myself in that situation? I won't do it. On top of that, he also mentioned
only black women. It's only black women that do that at your gym?
That applies to other women as well, not just black. That applies to other women as well.
No.
But I do see more. I do see more black women in that condition than others. And it has a lot to do with, certain cultural inclinations, food and poor diet being one of them. And then let's just be honest, there are a lot of black men out there who are just lazy as hell. Unfortunately, black men, what we've done is this. We have pumped you guys up so much so that you think, oh, well, I got a big butt. Oh, I got big breasts. So the love handles that I have or the gut that I have, they're going to overlook that because I got a fat ass. And he's going to want to do whatever he wants to do with that. No, I'm sorry. That's not the case. It's not the case. Not anymore.
I mean, I understand that, but go ahead. I understand that, but there's Spanish women that disproportion too. Okay, there's a lot of Spanish women. There's a lot of white women because I stay in the gym every day.
Yeah, you don't walk into something now,
every
Mr.
day.
Haywood, because
every day, and I'm a black woman, and I'm married. Okay, okay. So I'm in the gym too. Yeah, I'm in the gym too, and I see a lot of white women that are very pear-shaped and unproportioned and everything else, and so is the Spanish women. Because after Spanish women breed, I don't know if you ever, after they breed, after they have babies, they look a hot damn mess.
Oh, man.
They do, and it's hard for their snapback to come back. Okay.
I agree with you completely.
And I'm just saying, I had 2 babies, and you can't tell, and Tanisha has some babies too, and she looked damn good.
Yeah,
she got a set of twins, and
I still look like a little baby.
She didn't even stay in the gym. Okay, okay. So you can't say that. It's everybody. Okay, it's not just one minority. It's everybody.
Everybody. It goes away across the board.
Let's look into. Really quickly. Let's look into how society views black men and women. If everybody knows on the media and whatever, anything about black people are never or hardly ever anything positive. We're looked down for everything, and everyone knows all of our imperfections within the men and the women and within the community and the families and the children and so forth and so on. So we could talk about negative, how we try to men is trifling, they ain't shit, they don't know how to stay in relationships, they want to go out and fuck this one and that one and still expect you to be there or want to treat you like shit and expect you not to go anywhere. I mean, we can go into that, and we can go into how, women are trifling, and when you hurt their feelings, they on to the next one and they fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry. We can do all that, but let's nobody's telling what's going on in the white community, what they trifling asses is doing, what the trifling Asians is doing, what the trifling this one and that one is doing. You understand? So it's just that the black community is more focused on for the negativity. So when it comes to relationships, it's like, oh, well, no wonder don't nobody want to be bothered with black women because they like this. And no wonder don't nobody want to be bothered with black men because they're like that. And so, of course, yes, the trifling ones of us need to get it together, and that's what it is because me personally and my team members on the show, it's about black unity, it's about black community, it's about building. So we have to fix our shit first, and within fixing our imperfections, we will become better as a people, but we have to be patient with one another instead of giving up, instead of me or you or whoever giving up on the black man, the women, and instead of the black man giving up on the black women, there are things, you might find somebody, the sister's a wonderful person and she's good at this, that, and the third, and she needs help with stuff. So build her in that, but some of the women are not humble enough to be built. You understand? I mean, as far as the imperfections, you might have a man, hey, his bank account or his money might not be all that, or maybe it's good sometime and maybe it's not. So we have to look at the reasons why we're dealing with a person. Is it just based off of their monetary funds, what they have? It's this one particular situation of somebody that I know. I'm going to make it quick because then everybody has to speak. And the brother is very, he seems to be very conscious and on point and so forth and so on, and attracted someone to him kind of the same. But at the same time, you're looking outside of that and looking for other than what you have. Because if you have someone who is dealing with you on a certain level or in a certain way, and where that's what you want, that's what you're looking for, you're supposed to build on that. If you guys go through something, it can't be, oh, we breaking up, oh, this is over, oh, F you, and F you. You understand it's always the drama. We're never trying to stay and help each other's imperfections and build. Everybody wants somebody to come into the relationship already perfect. That's not even logical. Everybody is not perfect. You can look physically wonderful. Your bank account could be six figures, honey. You can have every car, every Prada shoe, everything. But your attitude sucks. So it can be different things. You understand?
No, I totally get you. And to respond to that, I totally get that. So what I'm saying, right. So again, if I can respond to that, hello?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So for me to respond to that, first, there are a couple of things. When you say how we're perceived by the outside world, you have a couple of people to blame for that. We have prominent black people who have perpetuated stereotypes that affect us every single day. I just wrote a story about Beyonce, okay, who's an accomplished, talented woman who has a platform to do great things in this world, but she chooses to use it so she can pop her coochie on stage. She's been doing it for 15 years. Nicki Minaj, same type of woman. When the white media, when they see this, they use it as ammunition against us. You see, unfortunately, those of us like you and I who aren't in the public eye, we're associated with the madness that black people in the public eye often spew. And the media picks that up, and then they begin to paint us with a broad, sweeping brush. You see, again, busts really weren't in 5 years ago. No, black women had them, Hispanic women had them, but big booties, that really wasn't in vogue until Iggy Azalea hit the scene. You understand? Until white people said it was okay to have a big butt. You understand? That's when it became okay. Right. Otherwise, it was only culturally specific to us. The reason why they're able to dictate the pace of our community is because we allow them to do it. That's why that's exactly why it happens that way.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that because
we just was talking about that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, nothing's okay until white people say it's okay. But
let's not forget they're the ones in charge of the media. So if there are any sisters out there who are positive and who are doing something besides I have a fat ass and a flat stomach and big titties and I'm going to carry on
Right.
and be the seductress and all of this. There are women out there who aren't like that, but we aren't getting the spotlight because the people, like you said, we need to do something about that because the masses who are running the media and so forth and so on are never trying to put us in a positive light and aren't trying to put a positive role models of black and men and women up there. You understand? Everything's as a basketball player or R&B singer or rapper thought. You understand? So it's who's in control of the media, who's in control of the music. You understand? So we do have to take a stand. But you're right. Us as a people, we have to take a stand. How long is this crap going to go on? I mean, the Haitians got tired of it. Certain African countries got tired of it. Certain leaders are getting tired of it. You understand? Because they're taking a stand. And black people in America, even though we're looked down upon, every race tries to be like us. They want to sag the jeans. They want to get butt implants. They want to get lip implants. They want to do braids. They want to do dreads. They want to do, even though we're so looked down upon. So we, as a community, have to deal with that. We can't be looking for outside forces to do that. We can't. Beyonce and them is paid, honey. They in these people's pockets. They could give a damn about us. You understand? So they're not going to try to portray anything positive, for black men and black women because they could care less. Even though that's probably the majority of their
but do you think
their income is
and the negativity got them their millions and billions, okay?
Exactly.
So, and associated with the story, when I say white women are stealing from your playbook, here's what I'm saying. Not only are they stealing your body parts, but they're stealing your mannerisms too. Okay? And here's the thing. I've seen black men date all kinds of white women. Fat, sloppy, some of the most hideous white women I've ever seen, and will date them because they're white. They're status symbols. Okay? And so when you have a status symbol, not only, again, she's coveted by the world, not just blacks, but whites and whomever, right? When you have someone at that level of prestige, and when she can duplicate the mannerisms and behaviors and even the bodies of black women, it leaves you all in a pretty compromised position. That's all I'm saying. So as opposed to giving us hell when we get home, because we deal with hell outside of our home, why would we want to deal with hell inside of our home? That's where we're supposed to find tranquility and peace. If you're giving us a bunch of hell, of course we go to white women, because not only are they status symbols, like I mentioned before, but they can do exactly what you do, and some of them, unfortunately, can do it better. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
okay.
How about this? Now,
no comment.
Now, I'm a man, so I'm kind of with you, Brother Haywood, because I am a man, and I understand, going through stuff with women and all that kind of stuff. But this is my thing. Now, white men is different, okay? Because that's the thing. That's what people don't understand about this dynamic. I actually, earlier today, I tried to get in contact with the people who administrate the Black Women Love White Men, period, website. I tried to get in contact with them because I wanted them on tonight, too. But, of course, they cowered it out on me and they didn't want to show up. But anyway, you have these white men that have a tendency to date black women. Now, I was just reading some statistics from the Census Bureau, and actually the numbers are very disproportionate because more black men date white women than white women date white men date black women. That's just a fact. I'm looking at the numbers. So when white men date black women, see, that's the thing. See, they're different from us. See, when you see a white man, because boy, I looked at a lot of pages today. When you see a white man with a black woman, okay, she's usually in shape. She's really nice looking, most of them, and more than likely, she don't have any kids. I didn't see one white man with the 350-pounders. I didn't see one white man with a chick that had like 4 kids with her. I didn't see none of that. And see, that's the difference in the dynamic. See, black men, we will date any damn white woman. She could be fat, she could be short, she could be ugly, she could be whatever. And black men, we will date her. Okay? But white men will not date any damn black woman. They just won't. If you look at some of those rich white men, okay, they date models, actresses, billionaires like them. But us, we will date any damn white woman who walks the hell up. She can weigh 500 damn pounds, and boy will be walking down the damn street with her, holding hands. And most white men, and I read some of that in your article too, most white men that do happen to mess with black women, they mess with them as a, they're like a trophy, to say that they was with somebody with a round black ass. They won't take these girls home. They won't let these girls meet their parents. They won't do this, that, and the other thing. They meet them on the slide. Now, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them, they just kind of are something to do. Us as black men, we'll drag the 350-pound, buck-tooth, ugly white woman right home to our mama. We will do it, man.
I love her. And beat their chest, too. This is my
Let me ask Mr. Haywood this. Why is it that us as black men will date any damn body? We'll date anybody, and we'll date any old damn white woman, no matter what she damn look like. But white men, they will only date the black women that are kind of, nice looking and shaved. They're the only ones they want to mess with. They leave the 350-pound women to us.
I'll tell you what it is. First, we get their leftovers, their scraps. The white women that they don't want, we get, generally. So like, okay, well, you can have these women because we would never date these women in the first place. You're talking about the 500-pounders. I've seen them. A lot of black guys out there, chubby chasers, and what white women will do, white women, some of them are heavy and don't really want black men, but they know that they're only going to be attractive to black men because, again, like I said earlier, if you got a fat ass, we don't get with you. But we'll make something happen. If you got a big butt or something else that we can, grab or touch on, we will at least give you an opportunity. So white women, what they'll do is they'll resort, or they'll reduce themselves to dating us. That's what happens. So you see black guys and they're, in pictures, they have their arms around the woman. Can't really put their arms completely around the woman because she's too round. And she really can't fit in the whole picture, or you can only see half of her. And so the dude has his arms wrapped around her with this huge smile on his face, like, oh, my goodness, and we're white girl. It's not impressive. In fact, I wrote another story. It's 10 reasons why black men shouldn't date white women, but I won't even get into that. The point is that the reason white men date black women is because they are curious. And they need to feed that curiosity. It's still taboo to date outside of your race, okay? And remember, white men have been doing this for decades, for centuries. Since the beginning of slavery, white men have been experimenting with black women because, let's just be honest, when you talk about bodies, when you talk about a body, you can't compare a white girl's body to a black girl's body. I'm sorry. Even in this day and age, there's no comparison. So obviously a white man being curious about sleeping or having intercourse with a black woman would cause him to date her for a couple months. He'll mess with her for a little while, and then when he's tired of her, he'll go right back to Sue and Sally and take her right back home and get married to that girl. But in many cases, these black women, and it's funny, too, what they'll do is they will change their whole demeanor. They'll change their attitude. They'll change their vocabulary. They'll change the way they speak so they can be more attractive to white men, thinking that, oh, yeah, he loves me, so I'm not going to be the woman I really am. I'm going to switch it up. Why can't you do this way with black men? Perhaps our relationships would work if you would be submissive to us like you're submissive to them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Maybe it's the novelty of it all. Like, I know.
No, it's the brainwashing of it all. Women going around thinking they men, and the men going around thinking they women, and everything is just crisscrossed and all jacked the hell up. That's what's going on. That is what's the cause of these problems. We're out of our roles. We're out of our. Peace and blessings to Dr. Frances Cress Wilson. Let me say that because everybody knows that she passed. Because I'm about to bring up what she said about the feminization of the black man. Now, it's all of this stuff going on, and we're changing rules. We're switching it up. Brother X and Lady Self-Made, even when we had Shahrazad Ali on it. She like, well, the men is like this, and the women is trying to be men and all this other crap. And the only way that this is going to subside and become better is if the women humble themselves. And you know why? Because we are the backbone. If we is not doing our part, we're the ones that have to teach the children. We're the ones that have to make sure that the men are okay. So when y'all going outside dealing with the shit y'all got to deal with, we don't know what, even if you have a 9-to-5, it might be something going on where you don't have the money or something, or we're struggling in the house with something, and y'all got to go out and find money, and y'all come back with money. We don't know what y'all had to do to get that money or who you had to ask for. What man go come to you and be like, I had to borrow money? That don't make a man feel good that he had to borrow money from somebody else to deal with his family. And we put them down for that.
Don't give away all the details of this week's radio show.
I'm not.
We're going to be talking about that next week on the radio. Don't give away all the details.
I'm not. Okay, Brother X-Love. Teacher Tanisha is not trying to give out all the details, but I'm saying all that in respect to y'all because I know how y'all grind. I'm talking about black men, and I love y'all from the ghettoists all the way up to the 6-figure, 7-figure, whoever. And let me tell y'all why. Because y'all go out there and y'all will bust y'all ass. A majority of black men who are men, even the ones that's out there hustling, they have children, they gonna make sure that their children is good. Me personally, and I've been married before twice, okay? And the men that I were with, they're not gangbangers, they're not dealers, they're not any of that. It's just that it didn't happen and everything is cool. And actually, they still would like to be back with me, but I've just moved on. I'm saying all that to say everything that goes wrong within a black marriage is not because the woman is like this and the man is like that. Oh, he trifling, he a dog, he cheating. Right. Oh, she don't do shit, she don't know how to cook, she don't know how to clean, she don't know how to screw, she don't know how to take it. That is not always.
Shake her ass. Yeah.
Right, you understand? And it's like, black women, I mean, the women that I know and that I keep myself surrounded with, honey, they doing everything. They working, they're taking care of the children, they're dealing with their man, honey. Their man come in, it's an invincible stripper pole comes up, and he's taken care of or whatever, and his food is made and everything is good, and the children are in bed and everything else. But we have to come to a point where everybody is doing their roles. When you're out of your role, there is going to be drama. It's going to be drama. If a man is not doing what he's supposed to do, the woman's going to get frustrated, honey. And it's not just about what you're doing outside and what you're bringing inside. You know, love and care and nurturing and all this other stuff. Women need to function. But guess what? You men need it to function too. When y'all come in at night, like you said, y'all supposed to come home to peace, especially if y'all coming and complaining, which I have seen and which most of you do. And when I say complaining, I mean about the hardships that you went through outside, who stressed you, what you had to go through to do whatever you had to do to come home and be able to look in my face and still feel like a man. You understand? And we start, like you said, everybody want to follow them, Beyonce and Nicki Minaj and all this shit. That is a fantasy. That is a facade. It's fake. That's not real. That is not relationship building. I don't want to be a wife like Beyonce. I don't want to be a wife like Nicki Minaj because that is not real. Right. That is bullshit. And them as women, trust me, if they trying to keep their man, oh, honey, they're being a wife. They ain't doing what they portraying in front of people in the TV. Trust me. Because no man is going to really deal with that.
Absolutely. And, you know, and then just to piggyback on that as well, and I won't be long with this, is, you know, we talk about dominant women. Once again, I don't think men are intimidated by strong black women. I think we prefer strong black women, in fact. That's one of the reasons why we're attracted to you in the first place is because of your strength. Here's the problem that I have and I'm starting to see more. Women putting their hands on men, actually assaulting men. That's another problem and issue that we have to deal with as well. It happens quite often.
What? Go ahead, I apologize.
Right. So, you know, like I say it all the time, we have to address that issue. Black women not only being argumentative and combating with their words, but also assaulting black men as well. This is another dynamic in black relationships that often causes conflict. Acting like men, exactly. So when you have Jaden Smith wearing skirts, and when you have women who not only speak like men, but they dress like men, they behave like men, it confuses the balance of things, and that is the reason why we have failed to coexist and to last, ultimately. So,
absolutely.
Well, do you think what do y'all think is going to be the ultimate end result of this? Do you think, because you hear people talking, the reason why I ask this is because you always hear people say that, black people are going to be breeded out, and, all this kind of nonsense, which makes no damn sense.
No such thing.
But you hear people say it all the damn time. I hear people say it all the time. They write me all the time on Facebook and on my YouTube channel and everywhere else, talking about how, the black man's going to be breeded out of existence and all this kind of nonsense. If we keep intermingling with white people, we're going to be breeded out. First of all, it's about 42 million of us, okay? So that's a lot of damn breeding, and I don't think I'm going to live to see that much breeding out. And then you have white people who say that they're being bred out. And it's way more of them than that.
If it's going anyway, it's going that way.
Yes.
Right.
So,
right. What they need to realize is, in 2050, first of all, white people will no longer be the majority in this country. They will be the minority.
Exactly.
And everybody's race mixing, and not just us. You got Hispanics, Asian Americans, we're all mixing. And in 20 or 30 years, you see a lot of mulatto people running around here. That's simply how it's going to be. They have to be prepared for it. Now, in terms of our race being exterminated or diluted by white blood, I mean, that's a conspiracy theory that just simply is not true. Okay? There are plenty of us still marrying each other, having children with each other. That's not going to go away.
No.
But what we do need to realize is that we are living now in a world where diversity is being promoted by the mass media. And so, yes, when you talk about people being brainwashed, every time you look at a billboard, every time you read a magazine, when you watch television, you see black man, white woman, black woman, white man. You see it all the time. And if you see it enough, you begin to internalize it, and it manifests in your behavior. So, yes, I do definitely predict that 30 years from now, you're going to see a lot of mixed children, a lot of mixed couples. But that does not mean the black race will be extinct when that point comes. It only means that we need to be, I think, even more united at that point so that we do not fall as a result of external pressure. Whatever these factors might be, we have to be a united front to survive when that happens. Simple as that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I was reading the statistics from the Census Bureau. And I'll read it again. It says households with white husbands. 50 million of those white husbands have white wives. Only 168,000 of them have black wives. In a household, in a married household where there's a black husband, only 390,000 of them have a white wife. 4 million of them have a black wife. So the numbers just don't bear it out. It doesn't bear out. Now, mind you, one thing that hones a little bad on black women is that when it comes to whites, Asians, and Hispanics, according to the 2010 census, white men only married 168 black women. Asian men only married 9,000 black women, and Hispanic men only married 18,000 black women, opposed to black men who have married 390,000 white women, 39,000 Asian women, and 66,000 Hispanic women. Yeah.
Well, you listen to the thing. I'm not saying that we're unattractive as a people, but according to the statistics, we are the most unattractive demographic. Black women are the most unattractive demographic among other racial groups, and black men are also in that category as well. The statistics really prove that other races don't want us as much as we think they do. You have special cases, and you have scattered throughout the country, but generally we are still seen as inferior and less than, and that's really never going to change, of course, unless we do something about it ourselves. But I don't think that'll happen anytime soon. Right. So when we say, oh, well, there are so many black women hopping in the arms of white men, that's why I say they really don't want you. All you have to do is do your research. Look at the numbers. Don't think that if you leave black men, that white men or black men, the white men will be with their arms open waiting for you to come to them. That's not the case. You might meet one around the way, but generally they ain't checking for you. They're not. Look at the statistics.
It's the truth. Hard facts.
I'm looking at the numbers, and this isn't me talking. This is the United States Census Bureau. So, you know, there's got to be some truth. Has to be some truth to it, you know. And that's just one of many of the studies that I saw today. And it's a shame, you know why? Because you have these. Let me be clear. During today, I looked at a lot of stuff today. I read a lot of books. I looked at a lot of stuff online today. And what is most prolific out there, it isn't the black men saying, oh, I need to go date white girls. You know what's mostly prolific? The so-called swirling, as they call it. It's the black women propagating this, come on, black women, let's go date white men nonsense. And I'll say again, the number of them actually being married to white women white men is relatively small compared to the white women who are being married to black men. But the black women are being sexually objectified. That is what's propagating. They are the ones doing all the propagating of going to another race, but at the same time, they're bitching about black men being with white women, but black men aren't propagating other black men to go be with white women. They're not doing it. They're not.
Right.
They're just not.
Here's what's sad about that too. When you talk about swirling, think about what swirling means. It pretty much means finding someone to get your swerve on with, someone to sleep with. Really, what does that say about black women? If you're promoting the idea of finding a white man to sleep with because he has twice the cash and all the same equipment, what does that say about you? It really makes you look like a hoe. That's exactly what the media wants you to look. You're pretty much doing their work for them. When black men, when you see us with white women, it's usually because we feel as if they're going to treat us better. We're thinking relationship. We're thinking legacy. We're thinking marriage. Black women, for whatever reason, conversely, you look at white men, of course you see status, but at the same time, it's like you have to feed this latent or this internal sexual attraction to prove your worth not only to them, but to yourself. And it's strange. I don't get it.
Yeah, it is.
That Lady Self-Made, how you be? That's that Willie Lynch. That's that Willie Lynch ship.
The Willie Lynch, yes. The Willie Lynch, yes. It is deep.
It runs deep. It runs so deep. It really does.
You look in the mirror and you don't really like what you see. Not all of you, but many of you do. You don't like what you see. When a black man tells you you're beautiful, you don't really believe him. You know, you question his words because perhaps he hasn't really mistreated you well, or perhaps you've had bad experiences with black men. But when a white man tells you you're beautiful, when a white man says, wow, you're special, for some reason that resonates with you, and it draws you to them. Look at Carrie, all you do is look at, what's that show, Scandal. How is it that Kerry Washington, and this is written by a black woman, by the way, her father, who was a maniac on that show, how is it that she could be so cold-hearted to him, but whenever she's in the presence of the president or that other white guy she was with, she just completely melts. She becomes a completely different fucking woman. How is that?
Yeah. Yes. But that's the programming. Now we're talking about the media and what are they portraying. And see, this is where the ignorance come in and having no knowledge of self, because that's why it starts with the women. See, when the women start wilding out and acting stupid and like jackasses trying to portray a character, a fictional character at that, as your lifestyle. You're mimicking your goals in your life and your daily living based off of people from TV, videos, internet. okay, that put on this persona or that act and play this role. You understand? That's not their lives. And if it is their lives, why would you want to live like that? Why would you want to mimic that? There is no self-confidence. They're always trying to put in our head. And me, myself, I have, and I'll tell the truth, even if it's against myself, as being a so-called conscious woman or someone who is cognizant and aware of what's going on in this world with our people and so forth and so on. I have also been guilty of, at times like, oh, well, these brothers, they act one way and they doing something else. You understand? So the programming runs deep. Now, dealing with a sister that's not even aware or conscious or cognizant is even worse. Do you understand? Because she's looking at the black man like he ain't shit. He just got drugs high. He ain't going to do nothing but screw my friend and my sister and the person down the block and have this one, that one, and all this.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
But at the same time, she has self-hatred for herself because she's thinking there's something wrong with her. So they want to mimic and look like and act like what looks appealing, what is put in our face every day. I don't like my hair because it's not straight. I don't like my hair because it's this color. I don't like this. I don't like that, and so forth and so on. It causes so much conflict. And then when she's not dealing with her own man or loving herself, she's trying to look for something other than herself to be with, to mate with, to make her feel as if, like you said, a white man says something to her, she's going to take it as a compliment. But a brother says something to him, oh, that nigga thirsty. He thirsty. Why he was trying to talk to me? What do you mean? Why don't you stop and give him a try? Give him a chance. You understand? We always, black men ain't this, they not that. And then when we do have the opportunity of coming across a brother, or it is a brother that is decent enough to be with us, we don't even want to give them a chance because, like you said, we're on a low-budget salary and we're trying to reach so far and so high, and it's like you're not at that level, not mentally, not financially, not spiritually, not emotionally, and so forth and so on. And the reason why I'm so concentrating more on the black woman right now at this point than the black man because of the article that you wrote, and that's the subject matter. And not only that, I know that it's going to be the black women who have to turn this around, where it's nobody else that's doing it. You brothers are attacked on every flipping angle, and being that white supremacy thinks that that the black woman is underneath their foot and they running us, we need to keep on letting them think that while we building ourselves and building y'all so we could build these children. That's what it's about,
Yeah, but this is my thing.
Absolutely.
Now, Brother Haywood said that in his article, it's the article he wrote before the article that I read from today. He said that, or he asked the question, were the white women stealing from the black woman's playbook? And I think that they are. But on the other side of that,
to keep black men, they are, not to keep no white men. To keep black men, they are.
Yeah. But what I want to say is that black women have tried or attempted to steal from the white woman's playbook for quite some time, and I'll tell you why.
Well. Mm-hmm.
With the blonde hair, the blue eyes, the fake this, the fake that. I mean, they complain about how white women and white girls are taking black men, but at the same time, black women have been taking the quote-unquote white look. They've been taking on that white look for quite some time. And I'll say again, with the platinum blonde hair and the blue damn contacts and the fake damn eyelashes and the damn...
As we put in a picture of Nick
and the breast implants and all the so-called white stuff, the quote-unquote white stuff. Black women have been doing it for quite some time. So it can't really come as a surprise that white women are now doing the same thing to them that they've been doing, for a long time. The white women, they want the big round booty. They want to be able to shake and shimmy and use the lingo and talk in ebonics and all this kind of nonsense because black women have been kind of taking their look. Okay, now if you talk to black women, go ahead. You want to say something?
No. I said they take their look and run with it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, they're fighting fire with fire is what's happening. I mean, look, we all jumped on Iggy Azalea because she adopted a Southern black accent. She got a fake booty. And, she dresses like a black woman. She behaves like a black woman. Well, let's take a look at Beyonce, okay? I've seen her with blonde hair. I've seen her with her skin much lighter than it was when she first came into the game. Let's just be honest with you. Okay, I've seen black women who get their noses slimmer, who get their lips smaller. It's like, you talk about cultural appropriation, it goes both ways. White women, yes, are definitely appropriating elements of our culture, but we are doing the same thing to them. Contacts, rhinoplasty, the extension in our hair, straightening our hair, the skin bleaching cream. For God's sakes, you talk about cultural appropriation. Do you really think Versace, do you really think all of these European designers make their clothes for you? No, they don't. If you were really using real, you would wear a nice suit using kente cloth. To keep them real.
Wait, what did Michael Kors say when he said, I really don't like black women and I don't want y'all having my bags and putting your weave in my bags? Did he say that?
Exactly.
Oh, my God, right. They don't even give a damn about us. Yes, he did, girl.
We made Timberland boots what they are today. We made Timberland boots popular. We popularized them. And just recently I heard that the maker, the new president CEO of that company said, I'd rather not have those Southern Bamas wearing my boots with shorts in the middle of the summer. I heard him say that. We made this shit popular, bro. You serious?
Crazy thing is, though, I'm not even going to sit up here and say that I don't wear Timberlands because I do. I love them. I'm from Brooklyn. That's what we do. So I still support them. I still support them. Come on. I'm not even going to sit up here in front.
Joanna,
I wear them too.
Don't wear it. Don't wear it. Yeah, I know we all are kind of in that whole fad and the Jordans and this and that. And you understand because it's a whole mindset. Like I said, we have some freeing to do ourselves. But when dealing with the whole situation, we got to get it together. Damn that. I mean, how many people is supporting brothers and sisters who making fly sneakers and who could do this and that? We not doing it. I know so many talented people. And there's been times where, you try to get certain people together who have small businesses so everybody can come together and do things, but nobody wants to support each other. But we did, like you said, we got them damn Timbs, honey, and this one and that one and whatever else. You understand?
It's been $5,000
so I got them
on the European Prada handbag created, developed by someone who really doesn't even want you to have it. You spend your entire...
They let you know.
They let you know. You spend your entire paycheck on these items, right? But then you'll turn around, right, and you won't patronize black businesses. And then you wonder why we haven't elevated as a people. You wonder why we're still at the bottom of the totem pole. Well, it's because we seek their approval to this day. If they don't approve of what we're doing, we don't care about it. Our toys aren't shiny as their toys. Think about the Academy Award. Why the hell do we give a shit if they give us an award for what we do? Why don't we care more about BET Awards, Image Awards, Soul Train Awards? We don't give a shit about that. But we all of a sudden care when we get a Grammy or an Academy Award. It's because white people, it's because it's their stamp of approval. It's because they say, oh, well, they're there, little nigger. We like you too. We appreciate what you're doing. It makes us feel so good.
And then we get upset when we don't win at their awards. Such and such should have won that award. They being racist. Why you watching it? Why you participating in it? It's like,
you think that's
racism is white supremacy. That's what it is. It's the nature of the beast. And for you to complain or cry over spilled milk, I think is a waste of time. Instead, do your own thing and enjoy and appreciate your own award shows and build your own community. Stop checking for what they're doing.
Do you think that's why? Do you think that's, well, I'm not going to say that's why, but do you think that's one of the reasons why, black women may go to white men and black men may go to white women, because they know that once they've gotten that gives them some degree of acceptance or they now feel mainstreamed, if you will, if they've been accepted by this white individual as opposed to being accepted by someone the same color as them?
No, it's validation is what it is. It's purely validation. We need their approval. We need their support, their love, their attention to feel validated, because when we look in the mirror, we do not like who we see. That's the problem. When we pay compliments to one another, it doesn't matter, because it's just another black man paying me a compliment, or it's just another black woman paying me a compliment. They don't carry any weight. It doesn't hold any value. So when they finally throw us a bone and give us a little attention, right, all of a sudden we feel the validation that we've been craving for so long, that for whatever reason our own people cannot provide. It makes absolutely no sense. It's completely backwards.
Right. Very. Marcus Garvey and all the rest of them rolling around in their grave, honey. We are so disappointing at times. I swear. It's true. It's true.
Well,
I mean, our ancestors have fought so hard just to point out simple stuff. Just self-love. That right there is just going to start and push so much. It's just love yourself, and we're always looking for love outside of ourselves. Everything that we're looking for is inside. So when we realize that and we tap into that, and of course we go through challenges, and even our ideologies and our belief systems are tested at times. You understand? What we talk about, what we say, how we feel is tested at times, but we have to stay strong and stay vigilant. The ones of us who are aware, who are conscious, keep on putting out your articles. We got to keep on doing shows. This one got to keep on doing that. And, of course, we're going to get the backlash. We're going to get people have come on the show and said all type of stuff and then, bash the show because of whatever. You understand? People are going to bash your articles. You know why? Because you're telling the truth. There are people out there who are scared to tell the truth. You understand? Who are scared to be like, look. And especially when you're telling it and you giving it raw without no chaser, okay? People are going to be upset. So it just is what it is.
All they were giving me on the social media today just because I put up an advertisement that I was doing this show tonight. I mean, boy, Jesus, the vitriol of it. Like, and y'all are my team. Y'all know what we do here. This is what we do. We talk about these things. Boy, I'm telling you. Boy, they was lighting me a fire today, okay? And the show hadn't even aired yet. It was like 5 o'clock in the evening. They were like, oh, God, what are you talking about that for? Oh, you shouldn't be talking about black and white, and I'm married to a black woman, and I love her. And then you had other people saying, oh, you shouldn't talk about that. I got a white husband. He loves me. And the show hadn't even aired yet, okay?
Wow.
People get mad at what they think you're going to say, as opposed to, so they don't even give you time to say it. They get mad at what they assume you're going to say 4 hours from now, which I thought was, that's why I have because I got a few callers on here, but I got them muted because I don't even want to hear, because the numbers that I'm looking at, they look like they're no. I don't even want them. I don't even want them. But you know why? Because I know they are all from like my Facebook page. And guess what? If they want to listen, they can just listen, or they can hang the hell up. But I don't want them chiming in.
No. Let them on. Please, brother, please, with like sugar on top. No, let them on, please.
Yeah,
let's do this.
Okay, hold on. All right.
Give it up real good.
This is Xavier, okay, of the Proper Thought Series. And I'm about to open these lines up, okay? Anybody want to come on and opine and say something, you have the right to. But I must let you know, I am in control of it. I'm the moderator. You say something out of line, you shall be cut off. I'm going to hit this button in 3, 2, 1, go. And see,
hello. The Process Thought Series who's speaking.
They're silent. They're not saying anything. You're on the air.
Okay, who's next?
It's open.
There we go.
I've got everybody open. They're all open. And no one's saying
hello.
Anything. You know why? You know why they're not saying anything? Because, see, they're prepared. They want to say something negative. And they can't.
Oh, let them bring it, please. Oh, that's the fun part of the show.
The lines are open.
I know,
They
right?
can say whatever they want, but they won't. They just want to listen. Just like that night we had Shahrazad Ali on. Remember that night?
Yes.
People were silent. Silent. All right. Well, you're not saying anything. I'm muting you all in 3, 2, 1.
Wow.
It's just us again.
It's just us again. That's crazy.
Hey, okay.
It's all right.
They had the opportunity to say something. They don't want to say anything. They want to sit back and listen like fools. So fine, maybe they'll learn something. Maybe they're just trying to. Let's have some hope for our people. Maybe they're trying to enlighten themselves. So, you know.
Yeah, maybe their eyes are becoming a little bit more open. It's called self-love, people. Self-love for yourself, for your people, for your community. And
the students aren't supposed to speak while teachers are teaching anyway. So, you know, they're being taught. So maybe they're just listening. You know, you don't talk while the teacher's teaching a lesson. You sit and you
You reading, Brother X?
I'm doing what I always do on this show. Tell the truth. That's what we do here. That's what we do here.
Open your mind.
Right. Open your mind. That's it. That's what we do.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you, Mr. Haywood, for coming on, man. I appreciate it, brother, on such short notice. Feel free to call in anytime. Well, let me give you some background on us because you probably don't know much about us. We are the Proper Thought Series Media Group. We are our own media company, but we are partnered with Nubia Hood Radio. We have a talk show on Nubia Hood Radio every Thursday night, but we do shows like this on our own, you know, where I just broadcast on my own. And I wanted to talk about this tonight. I mean, it was something that I wanted to talk about. But feel free to, you know, hit us up on the radio station at times because we talk about this kind of stuff all the time. And just from hearing you speak tonight, you sound like you're pretty well versed on other stuff too. So you would probably be a really good guest to have. So I have your email and stuff now. So, I mean, would you be interested in maybe coming on my radio show one Thursday?
Oh, absolutely, man. I appreciate you having me tonight. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I like the conversation, man, and I like the way it goes, man, and I like having good, intelligent guests that know what they're talking about and have the facts to back it up, man. So you might be getting an invitation from me real soon.
Appreciate that, and then also to the sisters on the phone as well. I do appreciate you letting me speak, and then your responses were civil and they were intelligent and informed. I wish that black men and black women could have conversations like this more often without it getting violent. You know what I'm saying? If we could have conversations like this with each other more often, I think we could get a lot of things resolved. And so I appreciate you guys letting me speak. Ladies, thank you.
Oh, definitely. Look, you the man. Yeah. We ain't interrupting the men. We letting y'all be men, and y'all letting us be women, and we appreciate it. Intelligent, strong, non-interfering women.
Exactly.
Well, you know, this is the Proper Thought Series Media Group. See, we have a special kind of people that are involved with this here operation. You know, they wouldn't be on this team if they weren't special. Okay, if they weren't special, they would not be on this team. Trust that. We don't have no run-of-the-mill people here. They're not welcome.
I can tell. Absolutely.
They're not welcome here.
Most definitely.
So anyway, thanks a lot, brother. I appreciate you calling in, man. And like I said, I have your information now, so you're probably going to be hearing from me soon, man. All right? So try to keep a couple Thursday nights open if you can.
Oh, absolutely will.
Definitely. We would love to have you back. And if there's anybody that you're affiliated with or other brothers or sisters who are probably authors as well or into the same subject matter that, you know, you deal on or that we deal on, bring them on as well. I mean, you know, come on.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, absolutely will. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you calling in, brother.
Peace and blessings, brother.
Yep, nice talking to you. Have a good night.
Okay, you too, likewise. Good night.
Good night.
All right. Just got off the line with Mr. Cory Haywood. I mean, you can probably, if you want to check his article, you can go and look on blackhat.com. It's there. You'll see that article. You'll see his response. You'll also see all the comments where the girls ripped him a brand new ass because of the.
Well, we know that he touched a soft spot with them because they're part of the bullshit. They're part of the problem.
Right. Probably. Well, you know how this is. I mean, I got a little bit of the. Well, I get it quite often, but I got a good taste of the internet vitriol, not just tonight, but also last night, because I just put up a video called "The Art of Policing," response and threat assessment. And boy, they said any and every damn thing except what I said on the damn video. So people have a tendency to jump up and say and respond to things that you didn't even say. Okay, because I looked at some of the comments today, and a lot of the questions that they were answering, he wasn't even asking. A lot of the statements that they came at him with all that fire and fury, I mean, he never even addressed what they were saying. I mean, they were jumping up and down over something that the brother didn't even say. That's what I didn't understand. But that's what we do with black people. I mean, we can't come at him with a compelling argument. So what we do, we attack him personally. They was like, "Oh, you ugly, you stupid, you this, you that." What the hell does any of that got to do with what
like
he's
high
saying?
school.
Exactly.
That's what they do. If they can't come at you with the compelling argument, if they can't counter you with the compelling argument, that's when they delve into the personal attacks. Okay?
Right.
They delve into that. And like he said tonight, he said that he wasn't used to dealing with, black women like y'all who actually let him talk and, respond civilly like, human beings. He's not used to that. So he probably was shocked. He was like, because I know he expected people to just be all over him, but y'all wasn't.
Yeah.
You know why? Because y'all have open minds. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can't present open-minded concepts to closed-minded people. You cannot.
Right.
You cannot, because no matter what you do, their mind, all the doors on their mind are closed. And you can knock on them all you want. You're not getting in. Okay?
Right.
So that's why I wanted him to come on tonight, because I wanted him to explain his articles and explain his positions and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And now that he's gone, all the other people
attacked the brother, and that was like crazy.
Yeah.
No, but he told the truth and didn't say something all nice and sugarcoat it. You understand? He gave it to them raw, like this is what it is, and y'all know this is what it is, and like it or hate it, but I'm going to be the one to talk about it and bring it out to you, and now what are y'all going to do about it? How are you going to change it? Everybody wants to be offended. Everybody wants to get offended, but is what I said the truth? That I speak the truth? You don't like it? Well, let's change it. Let's make this truth something better so I can talk about something better. If you don't like what I'm saying and it's not appealing to you, but is it true? Is it true? Okay. Is it true? Yeah? Okay. You understand? That's the difference. It's the truth. Everybody wants to deal in, and even, when dealing with other people, or even within your family or, your significant others or however it may go, or children, when you're dealing with emotion, it's like, did I tell the truth? Okay, I told the truth. Let's deal with the truth, because a lot of us, and I mean all of us, and I mean especially women, because, we're emotional, get emotional due to things that people say, and it might be very hurtful. And it's like, but is that true? Now, if you ain't telling the truth and it's hurtful, you're going to have a problem, okay? But any woman, I don't care who it is, okay? Any person, really, it's going to be a problem. But when you're telling the truth about something, you got to take that for what it is. Is what I said true? It's true?
Right.
Okay, so you could be upset all you want to, It doesn't matter. What are you going to do about it? I hit something. You know it's true. It's something in you that's not right. It's not sitting and resonating in your spirit. You want to change. Your spirit want to change. That's why you got offended. You understand? So people got to look at it from that. This brother ain't got to be out here writing about that. He could be writing about stuff that cater to these people's bullshit-ass fantasy. You understand?
Right.
Just like us, we could be doing a talk show about flipping La La Land and who got this and who broke up with who and who got new boobs and who, you understand, but it's not about that. It's enough of the facade already. It's enough of the fakeness and the BS. You know, it's time for people to be real with themselves first. You know, be real with yourself first.
Absolutely. And I think that when you talk about not just interracial relationships, but interracial relations across the board, I think that there's people on the black side who are seeking something that they think they can't get from black people, and also people on the white side who are seeking something that they can't get from white people. And I think that has a lot to do with, interracial relations and relationships. Now, you will hear people say love is love, and that may be true. But when you go out and you're actually looking for a relationship, you can kind of choose what color the person is you're going to be. I mean, don't just, people say, oh, it just happened. BS. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Okay? That's BS. It just happened nonsense. It's ridiculous. To me, maybe people would disagree with that, but, I think that if you are a person who is seeking something different, you're going to look in different places. Okay? If I don't like what's going on in my own group, in my own neighborhood, in my own center of existence, I'm going to look outside of that for whatever it is, whether it be a black person, white person, Hispanic person, whatever the case may be, and I think that has a lot to do with it. Now, mind you, I don't condone or condemn interracial relationships. It's not a personal preference of mine, but I don't condone or condemn it. I mean, if someone feels like, if a brother feels like he can get what he needs to get from a white woman, have at it, brother. And same for the sisters. If they feel like they can get what they need from a white man, have at it, sister. My only concern is that, why are you doing it? Are you doing it because you genuinely want to be with this person, or are you doing it to
be at a status?
To confirm something in yourself that you don't think is being confirmed by people of your own race. That's more my concern. If black people want to date white people, they can have that. Okay, I don't condone it or condemn it because it's not me. Okay, it's not me, so they can do what they want. They can do what they want. But know this: if ever, God forbid, something happened between me and my wife, I wouldn't be trying to date no damn white woman. Okay.
Okay.
I wouldn't try to date no white woman. All right.
And people need to know when you're out there and you're dating black children. I don't care how mixed you want to tell that child they are, honey, they black. Boo, don't do it. You're just adding to our race, and that is what the white supremacy fear, like Dr. Frances Cress Welsing saying, blessings to her memory and her spirit again.
Right.
She said that the gun was mimicked after the genitalia of the black man. And, the gun is a weapon. It kills. Because it will take every white person out. You know why? Because no matter who he breeds with, that child is going to be a black child. It's only adding to our race. I am not always, girl, I am not condoning or interracial dating. I think everybody needs to stick to their own. I mean, specifically, but if we're talking about interracial dating, all them so-called mixed mulatto children, honey, they are black. Any way you cut it, any way you put it, I don't care how they look, what they looking like. I don't give a dang on them children. are black. And guess what? When they breed with each other, a mixed one breeding with this one, guess what? Their children go be black, honey. And we're going to be all over the face of this world again. As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. And y'all know in all families, it's what, 6 brothers and sisters. I'm the youngest of 6. Every flipping complexion, honey, all in between there, okay? All black. So
Yeah,
I just wanted to say that. Yeah,
well,
we're everywhere. They can't get rid of us. They do not overpopulate us.
No matter what they try to think, America's going to let them know.
This system is not even going to be operating in the same way. But that's true. The reason why I say that I'm not with race mixing is because now you have black people who are Native American and they want to think that they're not black. You have black people who are Latino and don't want to think that they're black. You have black people who are Brazilian, who are this, who are that, and they don't want to think you're black. Honey, you're black. Boo. Y'all black. You heard me? You black. You black. Any way you cut it, and no matter what you do, that's what you are, and that's what you're looked at. And you could go to white people and try to portray whatever image you want to and try to pass all you want to, but you're black, and you love it when you need it. It's not going to work, because y'all could be black when y'all was in the white. No, we're not doing that. Hi, Miss Ratliff.
Right. She's not black. She's not black. Right.
That's so funny.
Well, I knew her name was going to come up tonight. I just knew it. I knew her name.
Yeah, she's not
I was
black.
trying to wait. I couldn't help it. You wanted whatever.
I knew her name.
She's not black.
Yeah. Yeah, at all.
Yeah, well, she's black when she want to be. She has that suit.
Right.
She put it on.
Yeah.
She want to put it on, and then when she get tired of that, she can put her shape shift back into a white person.
Right. Oh my God, they're killing black people. The cops are murdering them. Let me do an article about it. In one article, I felt really black, and I stood up for black people, and then that's it. There's nothing else out there. Oh, because I'm partly white. No, boo, you black. Go to the partly white part of your family, and let's see how partly white they're gonna let you be.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna make you feel. People need to stop. It's like crazy.
That was just nonsense with her. I don't even know what that was all about.
She was an agent. Rufaya bun her and run her little flipping people off of this place.
She got something else.
Pretty much.
She got something else to say. We'll set fire to her ass again. She wants to. She wants to carry this on. Which I don't.
Or whoever. Whoever wants
my
it.
Information. Like I told her in the video, she know where to find us. So,
exactly.
If she's looking for us, it's not hard. So it's not hard to find.
Exactly. And to the callers, what is up with y'all? I can't believe every time.
They done all hung up.
People that
they all hung up. They done all hung up. They hung up right after he hung up. I guess
That's crazy.
You know what I think that was? I think a couple of those people were probably his haters. So they probably wanted to hear what he had to say. But he had some haters. It probably was his haters. They weren't really trying to listen to us. Yeah. They just want to listen to him and see what he was going to say, so they can blog about it tomorrow and attack his Facebook page.
Well, if that's the case, they're going to attack all of them because we agree. They're going to attack everybody. They're going to attack the show, Lady Self-Made, Brother X, Teacher Tanisha. They're going to attack the whole Prophet of Thought series and him because we agree with him. We know that he's telling the truth. When y'all come over here, y'all better be about the truth, honey. Be about the truth. There's too much fakeness going on. Let's be true. Let's just be honest.
They can do whatever they want to do. I don't care. Like I said, I'm easy to find. I mean, all my stuff is linked. If you get to my Facebook page, you can get to my YouTube page, you can get to my website, you can get to my email. All that stuff is connected. So it's not even like I'm hard to find. It's just very easy to find the By Writer Cory series. If you're looking, okay, I'll entertain the nonsense. It's okay. It's fine. And guess what? Thursday, if they got beef, they can call into the radio show. And opine.
Right.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
That's right.
But I'm glad y'all.
I'm gonna actually tell you, Teacher Tanisha, that when I first heard the article that Brother X was reading, I kind of was getting ready to But once you broke it down, I saw the other side. So that was good.
Because
that was good. I can honestly
yeah.
admit when, you know.
Yeah, well, that was only one paragraph. I mean, that was only one paragraph. As a matter of fact, I'll read y'all another paragraph. Okay? He says, in a perfect world, you would be worth marrying. The kind of woman who, despite race, is worthy of a pedestal right next to, or even higher than, Amber and Jessica's. But to the men you seek, you're nothing more than a social experiment, a walk on the wild side, a fat ass, full lips, and a willing mouth, a way to piss off mommy and daddy back home in Iowa. Being with you sets them apart from the other trailer trash rednecks who feed into stereotypes drummed up by the media. European men who date sisters think themselves sophisticated, progressive, inclusive, colorblind, free-loving. But don't be fooled by that jazz. It's a mirage. Commitment material in their eyes, you are not. Hell, my co-worker, a white male, seemingly moral, once told me that black women and their dark spots look dirty. He obviously doesn't speak for all non-black men, but in 2013, these remarks raise questions. I'll definitely sleep with one black woman, he continued, uncaring that such talk could spark a riot. I don't mind getting behind a nice piece of ass, but I would probably think twice before bringing her home. That's still not cool where I'm from. In fact, sisters, it appears that many of you aren't reaching the altar at all, color of the groom notwithstanding. According to marriage statistics, more than 70% of you women are unmarried, meaning either having never been married, divorced, separated, or widowed, compared to 45% of unmarried white women. Only 9% of black women are married to men of a different race, compared to that 41% of Hispanic women, 48% of Asian women, and 58% of Native American women in the United States. However, only 8% of white women marry outside their race. Perhaps you should ask yourselves why the numbers so heavily favor non-black women. And please refrain from blaming ineligible black men. That's a tired notion. Pre-civil rights, black families kept above water even with their patriarchs handed peanuts for a living. Sure, black men today aren't cracking the Forbes list. Many of us aren't working at all. And fidelity is certainly not our greatest strength. However, positive change is achieved through positive reinforcement, not abandonment. That goes for all black people. In essence, sisters, your white knight, you know, the blue-eyed landscaper who swept Sinai Lathan off her feet in something new doesn't exist. Finding him is simply a figment of your silly imagination. He'll never marry you. He wants her, the white girl. You dream of being.
Right. It's true, but it's the truth. No chaser. No chaser. It's the truth.
Yeah, so you know
don't you love yourself?
He caught a hell over that shit, man. He caught a hell over that. That article, and that's only part of it. I didn't even read all of it. That's just a few snippets of
it. Right.
I'm about to go find it and post it on.
So, you know, well, you can find it. You can find the whole thing, Tanisha.
I did more his videos. I didn't really think the article and his responses and stuff. I saw that just to Yeah,
he's on the Black Hat. I think it's the blackhat.com. It's called, and because he's got that. Well, the article that he wrote on here was called "Hey Sisters, Feel Free to Pursue White Men. They Don't Want You Anyway," and the other one was "Hey Sisters, Are White Women Stealing from Your Playbook?" So, if you want to look those up, check it out.
Most definitely. And he said he has another one coming, a few more articles coming up. Well, hopefully, He'll be on again and probably, like I said, bring some people with him. If it's anybody that's listening, you're into something or, you know, you're about this, you're more than welcome as well.
We're gonna get him. We're gonna get it back on. See, what a lot of people don't understand about Cory Haywood is that he's really against like interracial dating. He don't really believe, you know, because I researched the brother. He don't really believe that we should be intermingling. Okay.
I don't blame him.
What pisses him off is that, and like I said earlier, a lot of black women they're the ones doing the propagating of, you know, oh, come on, y'all, we should be dating white men. They're the ones that are doing that more than anyone else. I mean, you don't have black men. You don't have there's no page on Facebook that says black men who date white women. But guess what? There's a page on Facebook that says black women who love white men. So it's like these black women are propagating this. They're propagating the whole let's go over to the white side thing. But then on the other side,
Massa. I'm married to Massa. Yeah, Massa don't have to raise me no more. Yeah. I give it to Massa for free.
Then on the other side of that, they like to whine and moan about how black men are chasing these white women, but it's these black women who are pushing the idea of being with white people. Black men, we're not pushing that idea for us to be with white women. You know, when we get with white women, it's just something that happens. You know, we're not pushing that, and we damn sure ain't gonna build no website dedicated to it. You know, so that's where the contradictions come in. You know, that's where they come in at. You know, so I mean, that's something that needs to be looked at. You know, because you got a lot of brothers out there who like to be with white women, but guess what? We ain't building no damn website or no damn Facebook page talking about it. Though. We're just not. You know, that's not what we do. You know, but the damn black women who like to cry and moan about it, they the ones building websites and dating lines and goddamn Facebook pages and YouTube channels about it. It's crazy.
That is crazy. Like Lady Self-Made said, that Willie Lynch is deep because the whole system of it is real because their whole thing was to get the black woman to be subservient to the white man and do what he says do because she's the one raising the children and the children are going to do what she says and acts according to what she does. That's why I said the role of the woman is the most important, and white supremacy knows that, and they're using it, and these black women losing their damn mind. It's crazy. Don't run into, and that used to be, I mean, it was even, I don't care how bad it was, how messed up people's relationship was, how ghetto it was, black men and women were sticking together or with each other. It wasn't so, like, you know, besides the crack era and all that, you know, how that did. But I'm just saying as far as, like, dealing with the relationship without outside influences of drugs or whatever, just dealing in a relationship. And some people, even if they were strung out on crack money together for years, okay, together. They might have been arguing all the damn 20-something years, but y'all knew that they were together. It's just something about the unity. We don't have that no more. Everybody just breaks up so fast. They don't even want to work towards a relationship or a marriage, or, you know, they expect everything to be perfect and go the way they want it to. And as soon as they run into a rough spot or it get difficult, they bailing out. You understand? And it's not about that. We got to be more loyal, more for our people. Even if we going through stuff, you know, women, we get emotional, especially black women, and we just like F everything because everybody's always hurting us. Society, our men, our family members. Sometimes at some point, even our children, you know, if they disappoint us, or, I mean, as far as that, I don't mean like physically hurting us, hopefully not, child, but
Right.
I'm just talking about emotionally. We're always so emotionally hurt. And really, we don't have no outlets. And if we do have an outlet, like, say, a friend or a family member or whatever to talk to, how often do you get a chance to do that? You understand? It's supposed to be the man and the woman. We're supposed to be in unity. You understand? They're supposed to be there. Of course, you got friends and family members and stuff like that to talk to, but there's no unity. There's no unity within the home. How many homes, you know, as soon as I'm upset, I'm mad, or we getting divorced because they did this one did that, it's always ending. It's always just, nobody's like, yo, regardless of what, we doing this. It's rare that you see black couples that do that. Yo, regardless of what we go through, yo, we doing this. There ain't no outs. There is no out. There is no we quit. There is no none of that. You understand? And people get affected by emotions. Women, we get upset. We get emotional. We say something. Then the man's upset. He's emotional. He mad, and everything is over. And it's crazy. It cannot keep on being like this. What the hell are we showing our children?
Yeah.
They're not going to want to get up and get grown and grow up and get married. They're not going to want to. They're like, you, all this headache and bullshit you done went through. Why would I want to do that? You know, it's not, marriage is not, especially in this society, is not something that's really looked upon as something good anyway. You know, everybody's focusing on the divorce rates instead of how many people are still married. It's always the negative that is looked at and focused on. Ain't nobody trying to put nothing positive out there.
Yeah. And unfortunately,
you know, it's just,
and unfortunately, there's so many negative images coming from either side, whether it be male or female, that it puts people in a bad light. I mean, when a black woman see, you know, black men doing all this crazy kind of stuff, going to jail, getting locked up, selling drugs, killing people, they like, damn, you know, I don't need no black guy. And then you got the black dudes who looking at black women shake their behinds on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and, you know, half taking care of the kids and all this kind of nonsense. They look at them and they're like, I don't want no damn black woman, you know. And these images are the images, unfortunately, that we get bombarded with. So when you see those type of things all the time, it's hard for you not to make some type of judgment on it, even if that judgment isn't, you know, whether or not you're going to date somebody, you know, but a judgment is made. I mean, people always say you shouldn't judge, but we make judgments all the time. I mean, we just do as humans. So you see these things, and if you're a person who's easily inclined to whatever these images present to you, that will have an effect on your decision making, whether you're male or female. It's going to have an effect on the decisions that you make because, you know, you see these images being propagated, you know, in the media, on the internet, you know, on television. You know, you're going to be like, hey, you know, what the hell do I want a black dude for? Or a man be like, what the hell do I want a black woman for? You know, I mean, when they see these negative images, I think it has a tendency to affect people a certain way. You know, that's just my opinion, but, you know, what the hell do I know?
Emotions.
Yeah, well, I'm glad y'all take this show with me tonight. Y'all know Thursday we're going to be talking about the feminization of black men. So it's going to be, you know, Tanisha, you know we're going to be talking about Dr. West, right? Do know.
Yes.
Have to mention her if we want to talk.
Yes. Matter of fact, the show should be really dedicated to her because she's one of the elders that, you know, started breaking that down and bringing it out and debating going on Donahue and debating all these white scholars about what was fact and truth. So this is to put her life on the line for years. You understand? Thank God that she had a chance to die of natural causes, you know, in old age, whatever, you know, the problem was. At least ain't nobody take her out. Like, this is to put in her work for years. Like, she put her life on the line. That's very dangerous. Even us doing this talk show, this is some dangerous shit.
Oh, of course.
You know?
Of course it is.
You know? Telling the truth? Please.
Oh, yeah, telling the truth is
people don't like that.
Very, 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 very dangerous. But we must do it. Okay? We must do
ain't
it.
nobody else gonna do it.
Yeah, we gotta do it. We have to do it. Because if we don't do it, no one else will. Damn it. We have to do it.
Right.
We don't, no one else will. I mean, I feel like this, no matter what the conversation is, okay? No matter what we're talking about, whether it be police brutality, whether it be obesity, whether it be poverty, whether it be interracial dating. I mean, if it concerns black people, no matter what it is, I feel like we all, as black people, we have been patted on our backs long enough. It's time to not only enlighten us and educate us, but it's also time to kick some of us in our ass. So this is something that needs to be done. And I'll say this, and I say this all the time on our show. We don't give a damn if you think like us. I don't want you to think like me. I don't want you to think like my team. I just want you to think, period. Okay? That's what this is about. This is about people opening their minds and have people thinking. We don't expect everybody to agree with us or follow what we follow or, you know, just jump on the bandwagon. What I want people to do is sit back and think about the things that we talk about on our show. That's what I want them to do. If they've done that, our job is complete every night. As we come out and we do this, our job is complete. But that's all I want people to do. I want people to think. I want people to open their minds, and I want people to maybe, just maybe, make a positive change in their life, or if not in their life, in someone else's life, in their children's life, in their parents' life, and people that they know life, and their children to come's life. You know, that's what this is all about. That's what it's always been about. That's what it's always going to be about. That's what we do here at the Popular Thought Series. And I'll say again, we don't expect people to think like us. We just expect people to think, period. That's it. That is it. That's all we want. That's all we want from people. And hopefully tonight people learned a little something. You know, once again, I thank Mr. Haywood. And we're about to close this out. Y'all got any last words, Lady Self-Made?
No, I'm pretty much good. We touched on something. I think we had a good show.
She's so adorable. Yeah, we did. Peace and blessings, people. Peace and blessings, and check us out again next time so we can do it again. Call in.
Yeah. And listen to us Thursday night. Thursday night, we are going to be on again at 8 o'clock. And I'll say again, we'll be talking about the criminalization of the black man. And we're going to talk deep with that. And we're going to, you know, we got to talk about the Queen Mother a little bit. You know, we got to talk about that.
Definitely.
We got to talk about her. She definitely going to get like a big portion of that show.
Most definitely.
Right.
Yes.
It's not all of it. So, you know, because she's the one who brought that, like you said, she brought that to the forefront. So we must talk about Dr. Francis Welsing on Thursday. That has to happen. We got to talk about Dr. Welsing on Thursday because she was the one who brought it to our attention. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna break it down. I might even play a little bit of some of her speeches or something Thursday. I don't even know.
Most definitely.
I might run a few of those on Thursday. So we will leave y'all with 3 words, like we always do. I'm Ed from Lady Self-Made and for Teacher Tanisha. Open
your mind. Open your mind.
Open your mind.
That's right.
And we out.
We out. Peace, people. Good night.
Later.